are you feeling today? How's your mood? Do you find it goes up and down throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month? I know mine does. Today I talk about how, although sometimes it can be difficult to change how we're feeling, what we eat can help our mood and our mental clarity. Hello and welcome to the Happy Thriving Mums podcast, the show that talks about the simple actions busy mums like you can take to prioritise your own happiness, health and fitness. And it doesn't stop there. This show also includes amazing stories from inspiring women who help others to be the best version of themselves. Because if you feel great, you thrive, and so does your family. Let's get started. Hi, welcome to another episode of Happy Thriving Mums. Today I am talking about the effects of food and nutrition on mental clarity and in particular our mood. We know as mums that we have those days where our brain seems that little bit foggy. We might feel a little bit groggy. Sometimes the smallest of things can happen and just make us snap or respond in a way that we might regret. I mean, I've done this so many times. And I try so actively to practice trying to stay calm in situations where I can foresee some kind of resistance or something's happened and I just think I can't deal with this again. I've had it at breakfast in the mornings when for some reason there's been like 3 cases of drinks getting spilt in the space of about half an hour. You don't have a drink spillage for like about 3 months and then there's 3 in one day, or it happens day after day after day. These both happen to me. Another classic one I have at the moment is that my daughter is really struggling and resistant to get out of bed in the morning. She's only 7, it's like just a teenager. But then eventually when she does get out of bed, instead of coming downstairs, coming to the kitchen, having her breakfast, getting ready for school, she goes and snuggles up with the dog and that she thinks she has all the time in the world to just sit and stroke and cuddle with this dog, lies back down again, and I'm just like, inside, I'm just ready to burst. And I have tried so many things to preempt this situation. I'm not going to go into those now, but it just seems like it's one of those constant battles, and I find on a daily basis I have to like really swallow down the kind of feeling that I really want to just explode and start shouting something along the lines of leave the bloody dog alone, go and eat your breakfast immediately, get dressed, and just like really shout. Oh, anyone else have a similar battle? It's kind of ongoing, and I just find that I have to kind of carefully withdraw and try and retain a mood or a kind of level pegging to help manage situations. I find that if I'm stressed or I'm tired or I'm sad or I feel overwhelmed or there's just too much going on at a given moment, that my response to situations can be, shall we say, not as I hope. And when I'm in these kind of moods, I find things can just be so much harder and that my coping mechanisms are just lower. Do you ever feel like this? Have you been in these situations? I hope you haven't, but sadly I'm sure it's something that we can all relate to. And I find that when you're in these kind of moods, when you're not quite up to your best standard for whatever reason, maybe you haven't got a good night's sleep, maybe something's happened at work that's just sat with you and it feels uncomfortable and you can't get it off your mind, or maybe you've just got too much to do, the mental load is just too heavy. It can just make simple things, like simple tasks like getting out the door or kind of making dinner or trying to talk to your children about something whilst, I don't know, doing something else at the same time, can make it so tough. Luckily though, these moments, and I think I often have to remind myself of this, these are just moments that in time pass. And I think it's important to recognise that, as we know, life has ups and downs, our moods have ups and downs, hormones have ups and downs, and challenges that can happen on a day-to-day basis can affect us. And it's how we travel through these challenges and how we show up to them, which can at times be really tricky. And if it is a difficult, challenging time and you are not feeling great about things, and it lasts for a day or a few hours or a little bit of time and it passes, that's really natural, that's really normal. However, if the number of days where things seem like a challenge or you feel particularly down or sad and you're not really sure why, and these kind of days wildly outnumber the good days, I really suggest that you go and speak to somebody about it, whether you go and see your GP or somebody that you really trust, confide with someone, because sometimes there is more going on than just the ups and downs of life affecting you, and it's really important to get that checked out so that you can really thrive in the rest of your life. So what I'm talking about today is kind of like those ups and downs of motherhood that we know happen and how we can mitigate them and try and have a more consistent mood to help us cope better with the ups and downs of life, allow us to feel a little bit more centered and calm, and just find some ways that can help us to lift a bit of brain fog that we might have sometimes and genuinely feel a little bit better. So whilst we cannot often control what happens in our lives as a mum, the number of moving pieces that we are dealing with on a daily basis are just crazy, aren't they? Kind of the logistics of getting everybody out the house to where they need to be, trying to kind of like get everybody in the right place at the right time, trying to deal with the emotions of not just ourselves, but of those around us, whether it's our partner or our children, or even the pet at home, the dog. Oh my goodness, sometimes my dog is mental, and other times she's really needy and a bit sad. Everyone feels things differently, and we cannot control that. We cannot control what happens to everybody else around us in their day, and we cannot control how they respond to their experiences. But we can try to control what we eat. And there are lots of things that suggest that what we eat can help us with our mood and our mental clarity. So today I'm looking at different ideas about how food and what we eat can help maintain a more positive mood. Obviously, there's lots of different things that you can do which can help you lift your mood. So exercise, as I always say, is my favourite. If you can move in some kind of way, getting outside, doing a workout, going for a walk, that always helps to lift my mood. There's uplifting music, putting on a power soundtrack, which can really help elevate your mood. Loads of different things, but today I am focusing on what you eat and how what you eat can help with your mood. So as always, I'm going to give you 3 different ideas that you can think about and try. I don't suggest that you try all of them at one time because that's really difficult, but pick one, try it today, try it this week, see how you get on, and then over time you can try and implement some of the others. So today is 3 ideas linked to what you eat that can help with your mood. So, idea number 1 is about ensuring that we are eating a balanced diet with plenty of fruit and vegetables. So there was a trial that happened, I think it was in Australia, called the SMILES trial, and this investigated how gut health can be linked with depression. So your gut and your brain are connected through hundreds of millions of nerves, okay? So we know that the brain helps to control all kinds of things that happen in our body. But this study looked at how the gut and the brain are connected. So there are hundreds of nerves connecting these two things. So what happens in your gut can influence what happens in your brain and vice versa. And when these systems are affected in some way, it can affect how you feel. It has been shown in this trial was talking about how your diet can affect depression and anxiety. And so if one of them is off, whether it's your brain or your gut, it can cause symptoms of depression and anxiety. And so this trial was looking into how what you eat can affect this. So the trial found, really interestingly, that eating a Mediterranean diet with plenty of fresh fruit and vegetables, and it found more than your 5 a day. So in this country, it's recommended that 5 portions of different fruits and veg a day help to maintain good general health. This study showed that the more you eat, so I think they looked up to like a whole range of different ones as well, this can help to manage depression. So trying to incorporate more fruit and veg into your diet can be really, really helpful. For some reason, my daughter always says to my dad when they say goodbye, and only my dad, I'm not sure why she doesn't say it to others as well, she always says, don't forget to eat your vegetables. And it makes me think of this every time. So getting more fruit and veg into your diet can be really helpful to balance your mood and help to mitigate feelings of anxiety. So ensuring a balanced diet, going hard on the fruit and veg, can help provide you with the energy that you need for the day to help your gut and your brain work at their best, and therefore that you can too. So that was idea number 1. Idea number 2 is to try and limit junk food. So junk food is a big thing here. So whether you go and treat yourself to a McDonald's or a KFC or something like that regularly, or just at home you just think, oh, I'm a bit hungry, I'm going to have a packet of crisps, or I'm going to eat a few biscuits or a bar of chocolate. As I've said before, no food, in my opinion, is a bad food. It is how much you eat of it. So if you are trying to, if you just have a little treat once in a while, that is great. I really believe in that, and I know I do. If I fancy a bit of chocolate, I will have a little bit of chocolate, but I won't eat a whole massive bar of dairy milk. It's just not good for you, and we know deep down it is not good for you. But it also has been shown that junk food and processed food can affect how we feel. So limiting the amount of junk food and processed food that we consume in our diets can help your mood. So there's a few different schools of thought surrounded this. You might be short of time, so instead of cooking something healthy from scratch, you might go for a ready-made convenience over good nutritious food. Or, as I talk about in episode 16, I did a whole episode on what to eat for all-day energy. So if you're feeling low on energy, it's really likely that your blood sugar is low. This can make you feel tired or irritable or a bit anxious, and that is not good. So this feeling of a bit irritable, you feel like you need a quick fix, you might reach for something which is sugary. You might hit the biscuit tin, have a little bit of chocolate, whatever it is, but have that quick fix of sugar to make you feel instantly better. And whilst at the time it's one of those things that seems like an absolutely amazing idea, in the long run, it is not the best choice that you can make. If you regularly eat a poor diet, for the reasons that I just mentioned, it can also link to long-term consequences. So if you are overeating, or if you are overeating too much processed food or too much junk food on a regular basis, the long-term consequences of this can lead to feeling and being overweight, lead to obesity or even diabetes. And it has been shown that those who suffer from obesity or diabetes can have greater associated feelings of poor mental health. So we don't really want this. And also, if you do put on weight, it can make just doing daily activities seem and feel more challenging. And when you are feeling challenging and overwhelmed, we know that that can bring on poor mood and poor state of feeling. So what I suggest is decreasing consumption of highly processed and refined foods like junk foods, and instead eating regularly whole foods or snacks with good nutritional value, which are low in saturated fat. These kind of snacks can help release energy slower and therefore help your sugar levels be more steady, which can help to keep your mood level. So I have a brilliant snack swap treat sheet for you that you can download if you would like some ideas on ways to incorporate healthier snacks into your day-to-day lives. The details are in the show notes. I'd love you to download it because it gives you lots of great ideas to give you these snacks which help to maintain energy levels, to maintain blood sugar levels, so that irritability, that tiredness, you can mitigate that and feel much better in yourself throughout the day. So that idea was to try and limit your junk food intake, eat more whole foods, healthier snacks with slower energy releases, which can help maintain a better mood for the day. My third idea for you to try, which can help to maintain a better level of mood, is to try and avoid being dehydrated. Dehydration can have a huge effect on concentration levels and mood. Dehydration can cause fatigue, it can cause headaches, it can make you feel a little bit dizzy, which can impair your focus and your ability to make decisions. And when we feel this kind of impairment, our decision making can be something from choosing what is a better choice for a snack if you're a little bit hungry, Or it could be choosing to respond in a certain way to a situation which maybe you regret, or you shouldn't have reacted in a certain way. It could be making a decision at work which turns out not to be a great one. All kinds of things. We make decisions all day, every day, thousands and thousands of them. Some of them are so subconscious, some of them are conscious. But when we are dehydrated, our brain cells and the cells in our body effectively shrink, and the exchange of these neurotransmitters, which are responsible for sending signals between cells and making our body work in a certain way, become less efficient. So this can result in mood swings, anxiety, and irritability. And that's not good. We don't want to feel like that. We want to feel as good as possible. So it's really, really important to ensure that you are well hydrated. So you want to aim for 8 glasses of water a day, like a smallish glass of water, not like a little shot, but like a decent glass. A small glass is fine. It can be squash, and that can be really good because that can give you a little bit of a sugary kind of thing, which can quench that feeling and that desire for that. But it's also a good idea. I know, and I love a coffee, but drinking too much caffeine can also affect our mood and irritability. Some people I know cannot function without it, but for some people, if you have too much of it, it can make you feel a little bit anxious. It can affect your mood. I know if I drink too much coffee, I can feel a little bit shaky, which isn't good. So have your coffee, have your tea, but also make sure that you're hydrating as well, because they also can have a dehydrational effect. That's not quite the right word, but you know what I mean. So ensuring you're fully hydrated, maybe limiting a little bit of caffeine in your diet, or if you feel you need the caffeine, chase it up with a glass of water afterwards, and that will help to maintain hydration levels. So the third idea was to ensure that you are staying hydrated. So there are my 3 ideas today for you to try to help maintain a better mood through what you are eating and drinking to help you tackle the challenges of motherhood. So which will you try? Will it be adding a few more fruits and vegetables into your diet to help your gut and your brain work better together? Will it be cutting down on the junk and processed food to help your energy levels to remain at a better constant level? Or will it be to ensure that you're trying to drink a little bit more water to ensure that you remain hydrated? Let me know which one works for you. Don't forget to download your snack swap treat sheet, and I hope that you find that this has been really helpful in giving you different practical ways to maintain a better mood. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye bye.